your subconscious makes up 90% of who you are. So that only leaves 10% that's actually conscious. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mystical Mastery Mondays with me, Vic, your favorite spiritual awakening coach. And today, we're going to get into all things subconscious. We're going to get into what the subconscious is all about. And the subconscious is really the big part of ourselves that's programmed. It's the part of ourselves that's completely based out of habit. All of what we've learned through society and our parents and what we've inherited. Our subconscious is the autopilot. It's the part of us that really works like a set of computer programs. As we're living our lives and having experiences, our brain is always looking at or is observing situations and calling out different subconscious programs to function from, right? The subconscious is really the perspective we function from. And when you know this, when you understand that that we have a subconscious and that it makes up 90% of who we are, and is this programmed self that we are, well then that you can reprogram the subconscious. And the way you reprogram the subconscious is to, number one, be able to distinct between the thinker and the observer. For most of us, we're living our lives, we're we're in the world, and and we're constantly like thinking we're thinking all the thoughts. But if you really broke it down and if you really observe the way our thoughts function, the thoughts are really just happening. You're not actually choosing to think a certain way. The thoughts are just happening in your head. And so when you know that, then it's about switching. It's about being able to shift into the observer of the thought rather than the thinker of thought. And that's why a lot of people meditate, right? A lot of people meditate because when you meditate, the thoughts kind of show up and you're in this calm state where you can actually observe all the things that are coming up. And um, a lot of people when they start meditating, like the first thing they do is they sit down and all these thoughts come up, and they can't, and they just think that they can't calm their mind or they can't quiet their mind. But the thing is, like, all these thoughts have been kind of stored in us, right? It comes back to one point I always make is about suppressed emotions. A lot of people don't talk about releasing these like trapped, suppressed energies. And so a lot of when we meditate, a lot of these thoughts that come up are, based in these trapped energies, which also play a huge role in our subconscious. A lot of times when we get angry, a lot of times when we get upset, um, depressed or whatever, they're literally based from these stored energies, and then we're just practicing these patterns or ways of being, and then we call ourselves depressed or an angry person or whatever. So the subconscious really makes up your personality. And um and so as we move forward, right, we want to let go of these emotions and let go of this energy so that we can actually reprogram. A lot of people talk about reprogramming, without the release, but then we're kind of in a conflict with ourselves, and so we really want to let go of whatever emotions that are coming up, and then actually practice. It's about creating a new habit, a new way of being. So if you can be the observer and observe these thoughts and notice these different thought patterns that we experience, then you can be able to you'll be able to shift that. You'll be able to be like, oh, I don't want to be like that anymore. I don't want to be angry anymore. I don't want to be sad anymore. And so you start seeing like where those thoughts are coming from, where those emotions are rooted into. And once you let go of whatever that is, now you can practice a new way of being and a new habit. So, I like to kind of say, like, give the analogy that is kind of like going on a diet, right? Like, if you have been eating bad food all the time and then now you want to be healthy, well, you're going to have to you're going to have to start eating healthy, but you're still going to get cravings for the bad food, and you're going to have the willpower to be able to continue to eat the healthy food, and eventually you're going to have the cravings for the healthy food. You have reprogrammed yourself to now want healthy food. So in the same way, with any thought, with any sort of perspective that you're experiencing that you want to change, well, you're going to have to practice that new perspective. And even though there's a big part of you that's going to have the urge to be that old way because that's the way you've been programmed, but the more and more you practice, calming down or going with the flow, or I think a lot of people's issues is needing to control their reality. And if we were going to use that example, then it's really about programming yourself to letting go. So every time you kind of catch yourself wanting to control, it's really about releasing whatever that emotion is, and then tapping into letting go, tapping into letting life flow, and giving yourself that experience. And the more you give yourself that experience, the more now you're programming your brain and body to function from that way. And essentially, that's what it takes to reprogram the subconscious. I really think it would be interesting if this is new to you, to really start looking or being observant of the thoughts you have, because we have 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day. So and not all of them are we actually aware of. So most of them we're not aware of. So the more and more we start to become like aware of them, the more we can kind of get a sense of who we are or who we've been, and how we actually want to move forward with our lives. And so to summarize, the subconscious is is 90% of who we are. It's our programming. It's what we learn from our parents and society and what we habitually do. It's just like you wake up in the day and you wake up in the morning and you go to the bathroom and brush your teeth and you get ready and you go make coffee and you have breakfast. Well, you've programmed. That's all on your subconscious. You've programmed your way to being that way, right? So we have there's so 90% of us is like that, including when we feel negative emotions or how we practice being in certain states. And, so we want to be able to understand how to be the observer of our thoughts and letting go of the emotions and start really practicing, this new way of being that you want to do so you can reprogram your subconscious to be the new you. And essentially that's what is obviously expressed. um, it's a lot more difficult practicing it and being observant of it, but the more and more you can understand this, the more you understand how we function with our brain and body as a human being. And when you have that, that's true empowerment. You can truly that's when you can truly have a sense of creating your reality, because you control the way you want to perceive your reality. And so I hope that helped. And that's my message for today. This was Mystical Mastery Mondays. Um, I would love to know what landed for you. What did you get from this video? I'm going to be doing this every week, every Monday. So leave me what landed. Let me know what you learned. And I'm going to be coming back every Monday with new topics to share with you guys. So I hope you love that. My name is Vic, your favorite spiritual awakening coach. And always remember to be here right now where depression and anxiety cannot exist. Thank you very much.